The number one most common cause for elevated blood pressure is malfunctions in the digestive system. The liver filters out the filth and toxins, puts that in the bile, and then the bile moves through the intestinal tract and carries those toxins out the back door. But when that bile isn't moving, the toxins aren't leaving the body, and they get reabsorbed into the system and get reassimilated. So now this filth starts to accumulate as the liver gets overwhelmed trying to filter out the same toxins over and over again. It just can't keep up. Now there's too much filth in the system, and the body's asking the kidneys, hey, can you help out? You remove some stuff. And they're like, hey, I'm not supposed to remove solid stuff. I'm not supposed to poop stuff out. I just removed these liquid kind of waste things. The kidneys are being asked to help out things they shouldn't be doing, which can lead to an overwhelmed kidney or kidney problems. And now this filth and junk can't leave the system. It starts to thicken up the blood, and now we need to raise the pressure needed to push that thick blood through the system. Now, the second most common cause of elevated blood pressure is elevated insulin and elevated blood sugar. So what's great about this is you can check this at home. You can get a glucometer at most pharmacies for $30, $40. And you can check your fasting blood sugar right when you wake up in the morning before you eat or drink anything. And if that fasting blood sugar is over 100, that's a strong sign that you're dealing with elevated blood sugar problems and high insulin problems. When blood sugar goes high, insulin's gonna go high with that in most cases. So when we're looking at that blood pressure number, we're looking at things like, the number of minerals in the system, the amount of glucose, protein a little bit, and then filth and junk and toxins. So glucose is a big factor in what we're looking at here. The third most common cause of elevated blood pressure is an overly sympathetic imbalance. So our autonomic nervous system runs a lot of our bodily functions behind the curtains. We don't really have to think about our heart beating, it just kind of does that. And the autonomic nervous system is in charge of a lot of those things. So there's a sympathetic side, which is our fight or flight state, and then there's a parasympathetic side, which are rest and digest state. And the body will move back and forth between these states as needed. But for a wide variety of reasons, a person can get stuck in one of these states too often or most of the time. And when they're stuck in one of these states, it can create a lot of problems. So if someone's stuck in this sympathetic fight or flight state, the fight or flight state is there to help the body function at a higher level in an emergency type situation. So the problem is when there's a lot of stress in our life, it can push us into this fight or flight state all the time. And the body doesn't know that the stress is because you're in traffic or a report is late. It just views the stress that you're experiencing as an emergency, as you need to survive from being chased by a lion. The biggest problem for this overly sympathetic state when it comes to high blood pressure is this sympathetic state, the body can constrict the vascular system, which kind of closes it down a little bit, and now we need more pressure to push the blood through a tube that is now smaller.